life is someone who loves someone, cares for them, committed to being in a relationship, looking after them the best you can, enjoying all the good things in life together and the bad things, which are not so good, but supporting someone as well, being there 24/7. There's no conditions to a relationship when you're married. It's all about being together and doing everything you can as much as you can.
Cheer up, it might never happen, no, it might never happen, well, we'll see, as I sit here spitting and
being a mum is probably the most important thing I've ever done. When you have children, it's an incredible experience to create a life, and from then on, the only people that you really care about are your immediate family, your children. Every day they're part of your head, in your head, thinking what they're doing, hoping they're happy. And being a mum is about being there when they need you.
Shining on, it's clear it's happening right now to me. Make it special for a loved one, for a stranger. Peace is hard to come by, extraordinary thing.
Well, that's something else again, because you can be perhaps the person you can't be as a mum. Because as a mum you have to discipline and you have to teach them the right ways, but being a grandmother or nana or whatever you want to be is so good, because you can be silly with them, you can treat them things that perhaps you wouldn't give your children. Yeah, I don't know how to explain. I suppose I've never felt bitter about being ill, but there are times when I think, why have I got everything? And you look at your family more than anyone for that, because everybody else is well. And although you don't want to feel like that, sometimes you think, no, this isn't fair.
Something's got to be better than nothing. Just because it's the end of the beginning doesn't mean it's the beginning of the end. Falling, fractured, broken, busted, all for nothing.
I was on the round the world trip with my ex-husband, and I was drinking a lot. And I started to have a problem with my arm swinging. So when people naturally walk, mine wasn't swinging, it was staying static. And then in the mornings I'd wake up and my arm would sort of fly up in the air. That was the only thing that happened. And then I started to get a bit of trouble coming up and down steps. My legs wouldn't positively move. But I kind of thought it was the DTs. So when I came back to England, I decided to wait a month and see if it calmed down, and it didn't. And I went to the doctors, and I kind of had an inkling that it was something like Parkinsons or multiple sclerosis, because my grandmother had Parkinson's, so I kind of had a thought that it could be, but I never said to anyone that I thought it was. But the doctor reacted quite quickly to get an appointment within 2 weeks, which kind of you then start to think it is something serious. Physically, for quite a long time, it wasn't too bad. I mean, aerobics were quite difficult because you're kind of not keeping up with people when you think you are, but your legs won't lift properly, or so it did affect me. But for about the first 9 years, I managed to do more or less everything. And over the last couple of years, it's affected me dramatically. I can't do most of the things that you would normally think are quite simple, like to peel a potato when your hand's shaking. You can't. Either the potato goes one way or the peeler goes another. If you're washing up, you soak yourself. Doing things like drying your hair, you nearly kill yourself with the hairdryer because it's banging on your head. It hurts. Makeup, you get one eye done, you don't get the other one done. So there's countless things you can talk about. It's frustrating, very frustrating. When someone asked me, why me? I said, why not me? And I know it sounds pompous now, but at the time I thought, why do I think I'm so different that I can't get any illness when other people do? And that's true. I'm no different from anyone else. So somebody is dealing out the cards and giving you these things. You have to find a way to get on with it. So I didn't find it that bad a thing. You know, it was something. Probably the last 2 years changed my thoughts on that. I'm not dealing with it very well at the moment. I'm not being very nice to people I care about because I'm frustrated, I suppose. But now I think I'm getting better about it because I'm excited that this could change. Well, I've got to go in 3 days before because I've got a mechanical heart valve. So I'll go in 3 days earlier than normal, and I have to go on a drip for heparin to get my blood levels thickened and the right consistency to have the operation. Then I will have some more tests and scans of my brain. And on the morning of the operation, which starts at 8 o'clock, I will be going down to theatre and they will put 4 fixing points in my skull and fit a frame which has been made basically to fit my head. They will screw that into my skull and then I will be sent down to theatre to the MRI scanner. And this takes quite a long time, over an hour I believe, where they have to scan from every aspect so they can map the route of the wires that will then be inserted. Then I'll be taken back to theatre again and the surgeons will then map their route out on through my brain to be able to insert some wires into the subthalamic part of the brain, which will then be able to control the motor system that's not now working. So that means that they have to then cut the scalp and drill into the skull so that they can then insert the wires down through the brain. All the time they're doing this, they're making you do different things with your hands to see if the tremors go. Oh, sorry, I forgot to say that obviously I had to come off my medication the night before, so that obviously my symptoms are they're worse. And then through this timing that they're putting the wires in, they're making you react, talking to you the whole time. I will have a nurse sitting with me who's a specialist nurse who will be making me do different things to make sure they're not. Obviously there are things like you can be paralysed and that sort of thing. So once they've got the wires inserted properly, which takes about up to 7 hours, they then put a cap on it and stitch it up. And then I have to go down to theatre immediately for the surgery which fits the control box, if you like, into my chest. The wire will come down behind my ears. It'll be visible, but it won't be outside, it'll just be under the skin. And down into this box, which will be like the electrical impulse box. And that will take another 3 hours to do.
Right.
So then I will be brought back from theatre after about 9 to 10 hours.
You're awake for the entire thing?
I'm awake for the first 7 hours. That's only under local anaesthetic. So I will not hopefully feel any pain, but I will obviously be aware that they're going to be drilling be aware and feel pressure, different feelings that you get from sensations during the operation. So it's quite difficult. I think with positivity you've got to try and find a way to get through things if they're not going right. And if you think negatively, you're never going to get there. You're going to go backwards. I think life is about trying to make the best of what you've got and to achieve as much as you can, and to enjoy every day, because none of us know. This is not about illness, but none of us know what's going to happen tomorrow. So and someone said to me years ago, tomorrow never comes. When you think about it, it doesn't. So the most important thing about it is to make sure that every day you do what you can for other people and for yourselves to make it the best day you can.